Hi, guys. Welcome to the first episode of the Fit Check podcast. Woo! But, ooh, not the echo. Hi, my name is Victoria, and I am a second year fashion student. And this is a podcast where we're going to discuss really fun fashion stories, culture, unfiltered conversation. This is the spot. Okay, this is where you're gonna get all things fashion, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Trust me, we're in for a ride. Okay, you're in for a ride. Um, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction into who I am and why this podcast exists. So, the main reason this podcast exists is because for me personally, I'm a podcast lover. I love listening to podcasts. I think they're so interesting and they're so fun. And I always thought that there's not really like a fashion one that's like about the nitty gritty culture, about the stories, about even just being a uni student and studying fashion. Like I used to always think about like, how am I gonna survive in uni doing fashion if I can't really hear anyone else's experiences. So I decided that I'm gonna create a platform for people to speak their truth about the industry that we all love so much, the fashion industry. It's the most talked about industry, most toxic, some would say, but it's the most interesting. I think, especially for me, I love talking about fashion. There's so much that goes into it, and yeah, and if you don't necessarily, you know, are not interested in fashion, or you may have never really took an interest in it, I think that this podcast can open your eyes a little bit, and I think it's going to be so fun. There's so many guests that we've got coming on. We've got lecturers, we've got industry people that have shown interest in coming on. We've also got alumni that have studied here at Coventry. We're in Coventry, and we've got a lot of alumni that are on their way to come speak to you guys and speak to me. So we're gonna have a really fun time. I'm super, super, super excited. Like I'm ecstatic. So yeah, before I get into anything else, we're gonna do a little quick fit check. Obviously, it's the Fit Check podcast, so we need to check the fit. Today, I decided to go a little bit casual because I don't know. I didn't know what the weather was gonna give today. I checked Siri. Siri told me that it was gonna be quite cloudy, so I thought, okay, I'll just wear something a bit basic. So I actually have a black blazer, but I took it off. It's a little warm today. The sun has decided it wants to make an appearance. So yeah, so I'm wearing a nice blazer today, nice black blazer, and I'm wearing this lovely striped top with these I call these my corporate trousers because they're very corporate-y. Love it. And I'm wearing some socks. I actually wore they're the same color, but both have different designs on it. So like this design has like three hearts, and then this one has some strawberries. I just thought I want to be different today, so let me switch it up. And then I'm wearing I call these my work shoes because I literally wear these literally every day. I wear them to walk. I wear them to work. I wear them to uni. I wear them to church. I wear them everywhere. They are so comfy. And yeah, so you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see these here a lot, So yeah, the outfit is just very quite basic today. I thought I'd let my face do the talking. The outfit is just there to be background. So that's what it is. So yeah, I'm your host. So you're gonna hear a lot of me, and you're gonna hear a lot of guests, but you're gonna hear a lot of me. So get used to it. Okay, get used to it. Yeah. So what is this podcast for? Like I said, it's to build a community and to provide a platform for fashion stories to be shown and shared, and for people to also learn a lot about the fashion industry, because I think a lot of people think it's quite this prestige, sacred sort of place. But I think there's so many areas of industry within fashion that aren't explored or even talked about. So they're coming here to be spoken about. Also, we're going to be talking a lot about the uni experience studying creative courses. So we're not just limiting it to fashion. With fashion, there's so many other industries that work with it. We've got media, we've got photography, we've got graphics, we've got all sorts of different subjects and so many different courses that work with us in fashion. So they will be coming along and giving their expertise, and then you never know, it could be something you're interested in too. So there's so many things that are going to be coming from it. So stay tuned. And yeah, so we spoke about the podcast. Now it's time to talk about me. It's my turn. So as you guys know, my name is Victoria. I am 20 years old. it doesn't feel nice to say it. I still feel like I'm a teenager. I don't feel like an adult. I'm originally from Coventry, born and actually bred. I was born here. I am the middle child, so that explains why I talk too much. And I study fashion. I study fashion, brand, and communication. I'm currently in my second year, so I'm what they call slightly seasoned. So I'm enjoying my life here, studying at Coventry, and there's so many amazing things about me. I feel like if I start, I won't finish, but we'll get there. Yeah. So one of my favorite things about fashion is the creativity part of it. Expressing yourself, expressing your passions, expressing your opinions. And also expressing awareness as well. I think especially nowadays we're seeing so many fashion designers, so many like influencers, so many different people that work within fashion, spreading awareness to certain topics, especially because of, I don't know what's going on in the world right now, but there's too much going on. But people are actually using their platform and also using their talent within fashion to spread awareness on certain topics. And I think it's actually quite cool. A little shout out, but we have one of our final year students from last year, Tala Lulu. She dedicated her whole collection to the displacement of Palestinians. And I just thought, first off, amazing collection. She ate it from top to bottom. Like, it was amazing. And it was just, I loved how she used the power of, basically power of fabric and power of thread to kind of explain and to show and capture stories through her collection. It was fantastic. But one of the many reasons I love fashion is not just the way I dress, but also just the way that fashion is used to tell stories. It's not always the clothes, it can also be the photography or the film, or the product, or even just the digital parts of it. There's so much that fashion plays into. Fashion nowadays, especially nowadays with the whole rise of AI, there's so much that fashion can do. And we're going to be exploring every aspect of it. For me, I never thought I would actually start a podcast. I'll be real with you. I kept thinking I'm just going to be a designer and stay quiet, but I talk a bit too much. But I like talking. I just feel like talking is such a fun thing to do. Like, I just really enjoy having a chat, having a little chin wag, and talking about things that I'm really, really, really passionate about. I think that's just so cool. So yeah, I'm in my podcasting era. So get ready for get ready for it. Yeah, as a uni student, it's hard, especially being a fashion uni student. I think, you know what, people think that being a fashion student, you just you just go in and you sew and then you go home. Huh? I wish that's what it was. Why am I cutting out pieces of paper for? Why am I doing collages? Like, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of computering. Like, I feel like if you, regardless if you do fashion making or branding or even international business, you still have to do a lot of stuff on the computer. Adobe is going to be your best friend or your enemy, and it's not good to be your enemy. I promise you that. From experience, you do not want it to be your enemy. You don't want it to be your enemy. You want it to be your bestie. And when it is your bestie, you can do so much with it. But I'm digressing. But yeah, it's hard. I think I was never prepared for how um how university would be, especially doing such a creative course. I think sixth form didn't really prepare me. I'll be real. It did not prepare me at all. I thought it would, but it didn't. It prepares you in a different way. I mean, for me, I didn't really take fashion as a subject, actually. So growing up, I always wanted to do fashion, but I just thought it would never pay the bills. I'll be completely honest with you. I thought it's not going to pay the bills because anybody that says they want to become a fashion designer, it sounds unrealistic. But it sounds unrealistic because of how it's been fed from childhood. For me personally, I grew up in a African culture, and growing up in this culture means that usually they want you to go for doctor, for lawyer, for nurse, for all of those STEM careers. And it's like, oh, I want to, but then it's like, I feel like those jobs will limit me. Sometimes just allow yourself to be creative, allow yourself to do what you like, because I feel like you do your job best when you know what you're doing, and you love your job best when you like what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you like what you're doing, you will do it. But if you don't know what you're doing, you kind of just free float. But you know what? It might get you somewhere. But the most important thing is to like what you're doing. So a lot of my sixth form era was just figuring out what I wanted to do. And when I was figuring it out, it came to a point where I said, you know what? Screw fashion. It's not gonna pay my bills. I want a Mercedes Benz, okay, with a capital Z. I want a Mercedes Benz. Okay, I want a mansion. You know what will pay? Lawyer. I said, I'm gonna be a lawyer now. It's crazy. I was watching a lot of Scandal and a lot of How to Get Away with Murder, and I thought, that's my job right there. Do I live in America? No. So that wasn't helpful, was it? You know what? Something just came into my head. There should be a UK version of lawyer shows, because I feel like we don't get that. We get a lot of like police, but we don't get a lawyer. Or maybe there is one. Maybe I've never heard of it. But if you've heard of it, let me know, please, because I love a good TV show. Ooh, I love ooh. I wish this podcast sometimes was about TV, because I love TV shows. Like, it's actually insane. But yeah, on a real thing though, I said to myself, I'm gonna do law because I don't think fashion's it for me. I like it, but no. For me, I always like the creative side of it, the designing, the putting colours together, the exploring the materials. Like, I've been doing that even before I came to uni. So it was always something I was passionate about. And then I think as I came to university, as I came to the point of applying for university, I was like, you know what? Like, I actually don't think I want to do law. I think I actually my actual choices, I chose politics. Who was I? History and fine art. I chose art because I remember they gave us a little bit of like a talk saying you need to pick subjects you like. So I picked art. And then I think I went to a workshop where they were talking about law, and I realized actually, no, this is not my cup of tea. And I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with it not being my cup of tea. And then I decided that, you know what? I'm going to go and do fashion, and then I will see where it takes me. And here I am in university doing fashion branding communication. And what drew me to fashion branding communication was because it was so different. I'd never heard of branding and communication being in one sentence. And Coventry at the university at the time were the only university within the West Midlands, because I wanted to stay local so I could be with my family. And they were the only university that kind of offered branding and communication. Other universities offered like marketing, communication, or branding on its own, or just or marketing. So I was like, interesting. And I came to this university. Then I went to the open days, and I realized actually this is where I need to be. Then I met my lecturer Chloe, who you will meet. She's amazing. Like, I can't even. There's no words to describe how amazing this woman is, and you'll when you get to meet her, you'll be like, I understand you, Vic. I understand you. Yeah, I had my interview with her, and I was like, that's how I know this is my place. And they gave me unconditional. So I was like, yes, that's it, get in. But yeah, honestly, it was really, really, really good experience. We'll delve straight deep into that, because it is a story. I'll tell you that one for free. So also, there's another thing that I also learned a lot within my journey going into fashion, was that I am so creative. For me personally, I love drawing, I love painting, I love just looking at pictures all day. Like, I was never going to be a corporate girly, but I always wanted to dress like one. So I wear a lot of blazers. I feel like now I'm starting to be more chillaxed and casual. And yeah, it's something I'm still developing. And speaking of that, we're now getting into another segment where we're going to talk about styling and figuring out your style for you, and also figuring out how to pick the right style, because I think it's so difficult to do. But what I will say is something that I have promised myself, is that for second year, I am going to allow myself to experimente. to test a few different things. I feel like sometimes we get a bit caught up and we think, okay, I'm only going to stick with street style. Maybe you should try a little bit of corporate. You never know. It could be a bit of your cup of tea. Or you could try dressing earthly or dressing with a lot of pop of colour. Also, one thing I said I was going to do, which I never did, and I'm glad I never did it, was commit to one colour that wasn't even my colour. Like, I said to myself, yeah, I'm going to be a pink girly. Like, I'm going to be a pink girly. Pink from, if I have to dye my hair pink, I'll dye my hair pink. I was dedicated. I said it. I said if I have to have, there's this dancer Nife. I love her. She's got blue hair and she also had blue eyebrows. If I needed to do pink, I would do it. But then I also started to learn that I can't just pick a color or pick a style or pick an aesthetic. I have to actually look at me, skin tone, body type, hair color, face type. Looking at it's a lot more complicated, if I'm real. It's a lot more complicated than you think, because you have to really break things down and go, you know what? That doesn't go well with my skin tone, so I'm going to change. And I noticed a lot with experimenting, and you're going to do a lot of trial and error. And also when you come to uni, you don't have to have it all figured out. Because I noticed when I first started, the way I dressed in first year is not currently how I dress now. There's been a lot of changes. I have not been afraid of colour. Especially colours that I never actually tried before. So I've noticed that yellows, oranges, the bright fire colours, that's what I like to call them, I've been trying them and they suit me quite well. So I'm not wearing it today, but next episode, I promise I will. But I've been wearing that a lot recently, and I realised actually that goes well with my skin tone. Whereas if I wear a colour like green or like a light green, maybe it doesn't go well with my skin tone. So it's like, it's really experimenting, figuring out what works well for you and works well for you entirely is important. Don't be afraid to dress how you want to dress. I think there's a lot of stigma because it's always like, that's style, that's not style. Style is subjective because it's not always what you think looks nice. It's always, because I've seen people's outfits and I'm like, no. But no, not in the sense of no, not for you. I mean, no, not for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's also trying to find that balance. And it's been a while. Like, do I think I'm there yet? No. I am still developing. I'm still learning. I'm still looking for that style to be like, that's how I'm going to dress. But then also I think style, like I said, is subjective, but it also can maneuver and change over time, I don't think I will be dressing like this in 10 years. I honestly don't believe that. I don't believe I will be dressing like this in 10 years. I think in the next 10 years, I will dress like an auntie. I will dress like an auntie. I'll be wearing my African colours, patterns with pride. As another thing I forgot to mention, I actually am from Burkina Faso. Yeah, I can tell some of you might not know where that is. Yeah, Burkina Faso is in West Africa. We have a border with Ghana, Togo, and I think Niger. I'm not sure, but we have a border with Ghana and Togo. I know that for sure. And Mali. Yeah, we're right there in West Africa, but just no one knows who we are, and it's quite upsetting. I feel like I look like I'm from Ghana. It's a saying. I get a lot. You're gonna hear me do a lot of African accents on this podcast. I just love Africa. Like I love Africa. Like, I love learning new languages. I love learning new culture. I love Africa. I love food. So I love African food. Like, I just, like, sometimes I wake up and like, thank you, God, for making me African. Because, honestly, I love African vibes and everything. So yeah, I'm from Burkina Faso. Yeah, and that has contributed a lot to my fashion taste, I'll be real, because my mum, she is my inspiration. She doesn't know this, but she is, because my mum loves clothes. Like, she loves clothes a lot. She's always shopping. She's always she'll come home to Victoria, I bought this new trousers. Mom, it's okay. I don't need the trousers. She's like, no, take the trousers, please. She's always, what's crazy? She buys me clothes sometimes, and she always begs me to take it. Like, oh, my mum is fine. She's like, no, tickets, please, take it. Like, I don't want tickets. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it. I'm not gonna say no. But yeah, my mom, and also I have a younger sister, And me and my sister, we shared rooms for a long time. And because we shared rooms, we also shared wardrobe a lot. Like, a lot of the things that I had when I was like probably around 10, 11 would get passed down to her, sort of thing. So we did have our style was very similar as when we were girls, because my mum wasn't going to my mom wasn't going to change styles for two different. Like, she was going to dress us the same. You know, she wasn't going to say, "Oh, Victoria likes pink, so I'm going to dress her in pink." Or Gloria, my sister's called Gloria, or Gloria is going to wear blue because she likes blue. Like, no, my mom was never going to do that. So she always dressed us the same. So I think that has contributed to how I've grown up now. I am not afraid to wear color, because she used to dress up in red, in yellow, in orange. Like, she didn't have a color palette. She just said, "Voila, wear that." And I'm like, fairs, you know, because there was this period of time where I never got to choose what I wanted to wear. She'll come in my room and she'll be like, "Vicky, you're wearing this," or "Gloria, you're wearing that." We also used to match a lot as well. So yeah, it contributed a lot to my fashion taste, and it's still developing, it's still changing, and it's still gonna keep changing, and it's still gonna keep developing. And I can't wait to bring you on that journey as well. You never know, you guys are gonna see me wearing random stuff. I'm not gonna talk too much into it, but there'll be a lot of random stuff coming up on this. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited to see how far this podcast will go. I'm really excited. I love talking about fashion. I'm so passionate about it. I love talking about the story of how I got into it, because it's a story. One day, yeah, I'll give you my testimony. You know, I'll start talking about how it really started. Yeah, and also touching on my life being a uni student in Coventry, and navigating what I like, what I don't like, getting into industry, that sort of vibe is still something like I said, still something I'm developing. And yeah, I'm so excited to see how far this will go. First off, check out this set. I thought I'll give a little tour of the set. We are still in the making. I'll be real with you. We're still adding a little bit of zhuzh, you know, here and there. But we've got some magazines. If I tell you something, oh my gosh, our uni has so many magazines. It's a joke. Like, I just grabbed like 5, but like, we've got too many magazines, like left, right, center, behind me, underneath. There's too many. So I've my executive producer Jonathan has advised me that maybe every single week we kind of switch it up. So yeah, you'll probably be seeing a lot of magazines. So if you're watching online, snap some pics, you know, get some inspo. Also got my pillows. I forgot to put this up properly, but it says "I am the drama." No, am I the drama? And I don't think so. Not today. I think maybe next week I'll be the drama. And yeah, I got my lovely red pillow. Yeah, the theme for Fashion 20 is red. And also, I forgot to touch on that. We're celebrating 20 years of fashion at Coventry University. That's mad. Like, that is crazy. 20 years of fashion, 20 years of collections. 20 years. That's a lot of years. I was born 20 years ago. It's actually crazy how like fashion started here in 20. No, relax, Victoria. 20. It started in 20. No, stop saying 20. It started in 2006 when I was born. I was born 2006, January 15th. You know, just to drop that in there. Yeah, and to know that maybe I was destined to do fashion here. And yeah, so we're going to be saying 20 years of fashion. We've got a lot of guests coming, a lot of alumni, a lot of people that are destined to be on this show with me, talking about their experiences, talking about where they are now, talking about where they plan to go. You know, some of them are still, you know, working through some of them are still in the planning stages of their amazing careers that are to come. And a lot of them are so knowledgeable, and they're so, I was gonna say wisdom filled. I think that's the right, yeah, wisdom filled. They're very wisdom filled. They've got a lot of advice and a lot of experience that can really help. Not even if you don't do fashion and you're listening to this, like, it can still help you with any area of industry you're planning to go into. As well. But more details on the degree show and Fashion 20 will be released soon. Do not worry. But yeah, definitely keep in touch. We are releasing a new hotline, which is our DMs. So please, we're in the making of that. So we have our hotline via our DMs, where you can give your fashion confessionals anything crazy. I'm talking wardrobe malfunctions. I'm talking I'm talking all massive crazy things that have happened, or even just like embarrassing stories that have got to do with fashion in your, whether you study fashion in another place, or you, anything fashion related, or it could be an ick, a fashion ick, because next episode, that's what I'm gonna say. It could be a fashion ick. It could be your favorite fashion pick. It doesn't always have to be negative. It could be anything fun, or it could be a question. Any questions you have for me as your host, or you could have any questions in general about fashion, or any juicy topics you want us to talk about. We'll be featuring those on the podcast. This podcast is hosted by me, but I also want you guys to put your input as well, because this podcast is both of us. Let's do it together. So yeah, our Instagram is at the Fit Check Podcast. And my Instagram is at Victoria Tanquano. Just put at Victoria TANK, and then the rest will come up. That's my Instagram. You can catch us on Twitter. You can also catch us on YouTube and TikTok. We're going to be on all live platforms, so please stay tuned. And also click the bell notification if you're watching on YouTube, so you can get notified of new videos coming. But we are posting new videos every single Friday. Best day of the week. Best podcast coming on the best day of the week. So yeah, stay tuned. I have been your host today. It's been a really nice convo, even though I'm talking to you or myself, but I'm talking to you guys. It's been such a nice little podcast. I've enjoyed this episode today, talking about my favorite thing, which is fashion. So please stay tuned. And yeah, honestly, this is the intro. This is the teaser. This is the starter. Okay, the main is coming. The main is coming. So yeah, can't wait to see you. Have a great week, and yeah, see ya. Peace.